My name is Therese Hauk. I'm a nurse and I'm a yoga instructor, and I am also a distributor for Lifevantage. We are going to be talking tonight about how to maintain a healthy heart so you can have a happy life your whole life. And I have a couple of guest speakers tonight, Farron Barbado and Julie Keel, who will be helping me with this presentation. So what we're going to be talking about, we're going to first just touch a little bit on the basics. I think it's important when you're talking about a healthy heart that you're not just focusing on taking a supplement, even though we all would love to just be able to take a pill to fix and make everything better. It's not realistic. We do have to do other things. So we're going to be talking about Nrf2 activation, Nrf1 activation, our omega, and the combination of these three, which is the healthy heart stack. So like I said, we're going to touch a little bit on the basics. I'm reading a book. It's called Younger Next Year. And the two physicians have written this book, and it's very interesting, the research that they have done, the research they have found that supports how important exercise is to maintaining a healthy heart. And we're not talking about like any extreme, climbing a mountain or, going to the gym and pounding, running on a treadmill. No, this is moderate to light exercise, but regularly, pretty much at least 6 days a week. So, what Johns Hopkins Medicine says is that you should do that type of moderate exercise, which is aerobic exercise. Aerobic basically means that you're using oxygen, and this is what exercises our heart. We're exercising our heart. That's exactly what we're doing. And so how important is that to maintain a healthy heart? It's, that's what we have to do. Strength work is also important because your heart is a muscle. So working our muscles is also going to strengthen the muscle of our heart. And then less related to heart health, but still important for our overall health, is stretching, flexibility, and balance. And there's tons of information out there about how important exercise is for your heart health. So the second thing that I want to touch on real quick, the dirty word, diet. But diet in this context is not doing some strict, crazy diet, okay? Weight loss plan. No, this is just about eating healthy. And really, diet is what we eat. It's what we eat. It's not a weight loss plan. And so these are 8 tips from the Mayo Clinic. Very simple, very basic, but if you do these 8 things, you're going to either maintain your weight, or if you're overweight, you will most likely lose weight. So controlling your portion size, so basic, so easy to do. Eating more fruits and vegetables. We all know that. We all know how important consuming lots of fruits and vegetables are. They're low calorie, they're good for us. Selecting whole grains instead of white flour. Again, it's kind of a no-brainer. We all know how important that is. And then limiting unhealthy fats. So you're trying to avoid saturated fats, trans fats, butter, oleo, or margarine. Instead, focusing on like olive oil, and canola oil is actually a good oil as well. And then choosing low-fat protein sources. So it's not that you can't have that ribeye steak, but it's not something you want to have every day. Eating hamburger is usually pretty high in fat. You're choosing turkey, fish, things that are lower in fat. Reducing salt in our food is always a good thing to do. we just consume way too much fat in our diet. I mean, too much salt in our diets as Americans. Um, it really is helpful to plan ahead so that you're not, at the end of your workday driving home, starving and not knowing what you're going to eat when you get home, and then just going to a fast food, going through McDonald's, getting a hamburger and French fries. That's, just not a healthy food choice. So planning ahead, creating menus, doing meal prepping is good too. And then, I am a big fan of not restricting any food group. No food is off limits, but it's all about, back to that first one, portion control. So instead of having your, big piece of pie or big old piece of cake, cut it in quarters, just eat a quarter of it. And then put the rest of it away for another time. And all of these tips are from the Mayo Clinic. So now we're going to focus a little bit more on what Lifevantage has that can help us with our heart health. We have pathways in our bodies, and there's a pathway called the Nrf2 pathway. And what the scientists have found is that this Nrf2 pathway is what stimulates your cell to make antioxidants and anti-inflammatory enzymes. Why do we need antioxidants and anti-inflammatory enzymes? Well, inflammation happens, right? We have damage to our cells, they get inflamed. And so anti-inflammatory enzymes will help to reduce inflammation. Antioxidants are there to fight off free radical cell damage. We all have free radical cell damage because we all consume oxygen. Oxygen breaks down, and one of the byproducts is free radicals. Free radicals are the bad guys. They damage our cells. Normally, our cells make enough antioxidants to fight off this free radical damage, but as we get older, it doesn't happen as effectively. And so this Nrf2 pathway is what signals the cell to make antioxidants. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could rev that pathway, activate that pathway so that it would work the way it did when we were in our 20s and our 30s? That's what our Protandim Nrf2 does. So you can see, I mean, from this illustration, there's just a nice visual just by cutting an apple in half and letting it sit. You can see that it turns brown, and then over time it gets all wrinkled and ugly looking. That is oxidative stress. Oxygen is reacting to the surface of the apple and causing it to break down. This is what's happening in our cells. We get too many free radicals. We don't have enough antioxidants to clean them up, destroy them, and then ultimately it causes cell damage. So what does that look on the outside? Wrinkles as we get older. We have more, we're tired more. We don't do things as effectively as we used to. Our bodies are just getting older. So Protandim Nrf2 Synergizer is what activates that pathway in our cells. And we have been able to show that we can reduce oxidative stress, which is the free radical damage, by an average of 40% in 30 days. 40% in 30 days. That is amazing. Now, you might be thinking, well, why can't I just eat more blueberries and drink more green tea or take vitamin C? Those are all good antioxidants, right? Well, antioxidants, when you ingest them, it's basically one and done. You take an antioxidant, it destroys a free radical, and boom, they're both done. Whereas this Protandim what it does is it activates this pathway in every single cell in your body. Every single cell is making antioxidants. So it's like 1,000,000,000 to 1. I don't know how many cells we have in our bodies. And if you look, you can see that this is made up of 5 natural herbs. It's all natural, so no harm, no drug-to-drug interactions. And so you could look at these and go, well, I already take turmeric. Well, I already take, drink green tea, but it's the 5 together. They work synergistically to activate this Nrf2 pathway. We are the only ones on the market that can say that we actually reduce oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. I was watching this video that this cardiologist put out this afternoon. This is Dr. Maniscalco, and he's been a cardiologist for like 50 years. He's amazing. And so he stressed how important Nrf2 activation is for heart health. And what he actually did, he decided to do his own study. And so he took 100 patients, and what he tested in them was their inflammation or inflammatory markers in their blood. He tested 100 patients, and he put all of them on Protandim Nrf2. And then they were on it for 2 months, 60 days. And then he checked their inflammation or inflammatory markers at the end of 60 days, and 100%, every single person that was on Protandim had a reduction in their inflammation markers. Isn't that crazy? So, I mean, there's not very many even medications out there that can say they work 100% on all people. So he, as a cardiologist, he said, every single patient of mine needs to be on this. And so he said, I have 3,500 patients on this. And he said, he has not had one patient that has had a negative result. Everyone has a reduction in inflammation. So we are excited that he is on our Lifevantage team and is just spreading the word about how important Nrf2 activation is. But not just Nrf2 activation, but also Nrf1 activation. And this is another pathway in our body. And so we have Farron Barbado on tonight, who is going to be talking about Nrf1 activation.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So in the Nrf1 pathway, it's another pathway that helps with a lot of things involved with the heart. And just to start off with, it is February Heart Health Awareness Month. So it's been a big thing for me this month, means that I have several friends and family with heart issues. And so the heart is actually one of the largest muscles in our body. And so therefore, the Nrf1 pathway stimulates a protein which helps the heart function better. Without that pathway, that's when our heart starts getting sluggish. And as we get older, we don't repair quite as well. So one of the things is the mitochondria, which is a big word for me, but the mitochondria is a membrane-bound cell that generates most of the chemical energy needed to power the cells. Why is that important? Because it makes our energy, and of course, energy is essential to our proper cellular function. Without the proper functioning mitochondria, the cells diminish. And when they stop working, the cells stop working, and eventually we stop working. So 95% of the energy needed is a function that is produced by the mighty powerful mitochondria. One of the benefits of Nrf1 pathway, if it's activated properly, is it helps with REM sleep. This was a big one for me because I was not a good sleeper. And since I've been taking Nrf1 the improvement I have had is sleep. So sleep is when our bodies repair themselves from head to toe. Yep, and you guessed it, also helps repair our heart. During normal sleep, our blood pressure goes down. Spending less time sleeping, our blood pressure spends more time being at a higher rate. In recent studies, it also has showed that when you are sleeping, your blood sugars go down, which reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes. So, of course, if you aren't getting good sleep, then you actually are having a negative impact in regards to the effect of controlling your hunger and controlling the possibilities of type 2 diabetes, leading us to eat more and gain more. I also wanted to explain in regards to the mitochondria dysfunction that 72 common prescriptions that are given out every day are considered mitochondria poisons, which are toxins to our brain, our nerves, our muscles, as well as other organs. And with the heart functions, if it's not functioning properly and we have these issues with it, it is a major thing with our cardiovascular system, which is congestive heart failure, diabetes. It affects us. Nrf2 protects our pathway, protects our liver by suppressing inflammation and promoting cholesterol, which one of the things with the Nrf2 pathway, when it's functioning properly, it actually helps suppress that. It goes and attacks the cholesterol in our bodies, so it helps lower cholesterol rates. That's about what I have on Nrf2 without going on and on about my REM sleep, which knowing that my family has heart issues and has a pattern that has trickled down from generations, I want to definitely make sure that I try and protect my heart with getting the proper amount of rest. And so this has been a big plus for me.
Great. Thank you so much, Farron. So the third product that we're going to talk about tonight is our Omega, and I'm going to give the floor to Julie Keel. Sorry.
Thank you. Our Omega is necessary for our body, and Omega is a fatty acid, but our body does not produce it, so we need to ingest our Omega. And it's very important for our body, and the main thing is it's important for our heart. By taking an Omega, it will assist in lowering your blood pressure and your triglycerides. It's going to help to reduce the plaque in your arteries, which that's fantastic, which means your heart attacks, your irregular heartbeats. It can also help with that, besides the joints in your body, and it helps with the function of your brain. So that's two major things of your body, is your brain and your heart. And it is Heart Health Month. So the Omega, we have added Omega-7 into our Omega, and it's very hard to find that if you look at your bottle of Omega. This Omega-7 can actually help with your insulin levels. So that's fantastic in itself. So can any of you say that you can trace your fish your Omega is made out of from the boat to your bottle? Lifevantage can. We can track that fish from the time it's caught to the time it's bottled. There is a stamp on the bottle that you can trace it back to where it exactly came from. And our Omega is bottled within 4 hours of being caught. So it's absolutely fresh, which means that there are no fish burps, because I know a lot of us don't like to take it because of you get your fish burps, and that is not very comfortable. So Ours is very fresh in 4 hours. And actually, I just discovered this by researching that in 4 hours, it's in the bottle. And so it goes directly to you. It's not sitting in a warehouse. And so with that said, another thing is Lifevantage has taken out the omega-6. Omega-6 is an inflammatory, and it's used for fillers in omega. And what we're trying to do is take the inflammation and oxidative stress out of our bodies. So that's why that they do not add the omega-6. One other thing is that omega, it's been recommended by the American Heart Association. So there is another plus. You know, it's been researched. It is good for you. You just need to find one that is very effective, very fresh, and you will have a healthy heart and brain and joints, and it will work synergistically with our Nrf2 and the Nrf1. So, Therese.
Thank you so much, Julie.
You're welcome.
So these 3 products, Lifevantage has combined into a heart health stack. And our heart health stack is priced, it's a reduced price because it's a package. You get Protandim Nrf2, Protandim Nrf1, and our Omega for $125 per month. It's, you know, some of you might be thinking, oh, that's a little expensive, but what price for your health? You know, especially your heart. We all need a healthy heart, right? And so this slide just shows you what the benefits are. Protects our heart and blood vessels from the effects of oxidative stress. Very important, right? Helps power a strong heart muscle by supporting production of cellular energy. That's the mitochondrial stimulation. Supports healthy vascular function and circulation. This is our omega. Helps maintain natural or healthy lipid levels, which are already in the normal range. And then the same with our cholesterol levels. So I think the 3 products together help with that. So Lifevantage is the company that has made this product. We've been around since 2003. This is our corporate office. It's based out of Salt Lake City, Utah. We became debt-free during COVID, during 2020. We are a dynamic, forward-moving company. We are one of the first companies to look at nutrigenomics, which is looking at the science of nutrition and how it affects our genes. So we're so excited to be a part of this company. And, you know, many people are benefiting because these products work. They really help us maintain health. And I know that I have had wonderful results with them. I'm a breast cancer survivor, but it also, if you are interested in a side gig and making a little extra money, what better way than to help people get healthy? And that's what all of us are doing. So we want to thank you so much for your time and coming tonight. And if you have any questions, or if you want to get started on product, or if you're thinking about starting a business, please connect with the person that invited you tonight. And thank you so much.